In the summer of 2024, Kylian Mbappe is all set for the biggest move of his life. He's finally announced to leave the club that turned him into a superstar. And with his future already decided, the question is, what will happen when Mbappe moves to Spain and ushers in a new era in Real Madrid? Kylian's journey to the top started when he was born in 1998, a special year for France. See, that year they won the World Cup on home turf, the first in the country's history. It's almost as if Mbappe was destined to play football. His dad, Wilfred Mbappe, was a former pro who'd now turned into his coach, and his mum, Faisa Lamri, was a former handball player. Mbappe's first journey into the game started when he joined the AS Bondi youth team, and you'd never believe who his coach was. His old man Pops. But the truth is, it couldn't have worked out any better for him, because with his dad acting as a coach now, safe to say Mbappe stayed out of trouble and focused on football. And the results were that only a couple of years later, everyone in the country couldn't stop talking about him. Later on, he joined the AS Monaco youth team, and I'm guessing the plan must have been for him to stay and develop at lower levels for a couple of seasons. But pretty soon, they realised they had a generational talent on their hands. And in 2015-16, Mbappe got his first taste of professional football. He made his debut at the age of 16 and 347 days. 16 years, bro. When I was that age, the only in-game experience I had was career mode. Pretty soon, Mbappe showed he wasn't just a flashy kid with hype. After bagging his first league goal against Troyes, he signed a 3-year contract deal with Monaco, and in the following season, the kid turned into a superstar. He bagged an incredible 28 goals and 14 assists in 46 games that season, and he hadn't even turned 19 yet. Mbappe was different gravy. He bagged league hat-tricks against Rennes and Metz, helped Monaco with League One to end PSG's 5-year dominant streak, and in the Champions League, he was on smoke. He scored against European giants like Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund and Juventus to help Monaco reach the semis. And even though that's where the journey ended for Mbappe, he'd made his mark and caught the eye too, enough to make entire countries go to war over him. With his dad being from Cameroon, he originally wanted to play there. But get this, they said if Mbappe Sr. didn't pay up, Kylian wasn't going to play. Algeria also had a shout at Kylian thanks to his mum, Faisa Lamri. But in the end, it was Kylian's decision to make. He had the final say, and when it came down to it, he chose the place he wanted to call home, France. In the summer of 2017 though, Mbappe's life was going to change as he knew it. After his incredible first season at Monaco, he had some of the big clubs in Europe taking notes, and in the end, before anyone could launch an official bid for him, PSG made him and Monaco an offer to become the most expensive teenager in football history, and the second most expensive footballer of all time. And Mbappe said yes, $142 million. PSG legit got both Mbappe and Neymar in the same window, and even though Neymar cost more, Mbappe grabbed the headlines. In his first season at the capital club, Mbappe hit 21 goals and 16 assists in 46 games as PSG won the league of his former team and the Coupe de France. But in the Champions League, they got knocked out by Real Madrid, Mbappe's childhood club growing up. And the dude who did the damage against them on 2 legs was Mbappe's hero growing up. CR7. But you see guys, for Mbappe, the summer of 2018 was where it was at for him, because on the biggest stage in the world, he showed he was made for this. The World Cup in Russia, and Mbappe made the French squad, and even got to wear the number 10 jersey. He bagged a goal in the group stage against Peru, and in the round of 16 match versus Argentina, he was electric. Scored, assisted, and won a penalty to send Messi packing. His crowning moment though, came in the final against Croatia, where in front of over 1.4 billion people watching, Mbappe made history. His goal in the final made him become the first teenager to bag in the World Cup final since Pelé in 1958, over 60 years ago. He won the Best Youth Player of the Tournament award as a result, and over the next 3 seasons, Mbappe experienced the ups and downs of football. He kept the numbers coming, and pretty soon established himself as one of the best players in the world. He won the French League One Golden Boot 3 seasons in a row, won the Premier League Player of the Season award in 2019 and 2020, and was even crowned French Footballer of the Year in 2018 and 2019. However, on a collective level, Mbappe wasn't feeling it. To be honest, winning the league was never the problem for PSG. They were doing it even before Kylian arrived. The big one though, the Champions League, was where it was at, and they kept failing at it. For the first time in 2020, they made it to the final against Bayern, but ultimately lost 1-0. And in 2021, after getting knocked out by City in the semis, Mbappe had seen enough. Mbappe was ready for a new chapter in his career, and lucky for him, he had the biggest club in the world on his radar. The saga started in 2021. Now, at the time, Mbappe was the most marketable player in the world. And when it gets down to it, Real Madrid had a thing for attracting the best players in the world. Add that to Mbappe being a Madrid fan from way back, and it was a no-brainer. Or at least it should have been. Madrid kept making moves all summer, and on his part, Mbappe had rejected over 6 contract renewal proposals from PSG. His contract was set to expire that summer. With days left to the end of the transfer window, Madrid slipped in the extra cash, after seeing both $150 million and $170 million bids for Mbappe turned down. On the last day of the transfer window, they raised the bid to $220 million, the same figure PSG had paid for Neymar all those years back. But still, PSG said no. And right after the window closed, it felt like PSG had missed a chance to cash out on him. Pretty soon, the January transfer window was open, and this time Madrid came at Mbappe with everything. He had just 6 months left on his PSG contract, and on the outside, they had nothing to lose. Once the $220 million bid came in, the plan was simple. If PSG rejected the bid, they'd just wait until the summer to get him for free. But you see guys, on the inside, PSG and Mbappe had other plans. They even involved the president of France having a say. Against the odds, Mbappe signed a contract renewal with PSG for 3 more years and left the Madrid fans pissed. See, Mbappe's contract at PSG was more than just the money. The figures were astonishing. He was all set to become the highest paid player in Europe, making over $1.4 million every week, had a sign-on fee of $250 million every season, and even a sporting position at the club that meant he was involved in any transfers the club decided to make, advising on whom to sign and whom to get rid of. See guys, in France, Mbappe was more than just a world-class athlete. He was a sporting symbol for the club, and that's why even President Emmanuel Macron got involved and asked him to stay at PSG. Back to Madrid now, and they were pissed on missing out. And things could not have gotten any more tense a few weeks later, when both teams faced off in the Champions League round of 16. And you'd never believe who scored the last-minute winner. Kylian Mbappe. He was him. Ultimately though, in the second leg, Madrid and Karim Benzema came back to win the match 3-1 and knocked PSG out again. Mission failed for Mbappe. In that summer, the rumours of Mbappe leaving PSG died down, and on a personal level, Mbappe decided to simply focus on his football. He finished the 2022-23 season with 41 goals and 10 assists in 43 games, breaking records along the way too. He was now PSG's all-time top scorer. In the World Cup in December, Mbappe carried France to the final, bagged a hat-trick in it, but lost on penalties to Messi's Argentina. France couldn't retain. Truth is guys, on a club level, the rumours surrounding Mbappe and Real Madrid never left, and at the start of the current season, they were in the headlines again. Now, Mbappe's contract at PSG was for 3 years, and heading into the final year, the club had an agreement with Mbappe to extend for at least 2 more years. But here's the thing, Mbappe said no, and it caused chaos. PSG's president, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, got involved, and it even gotten so bad that the club was threatening to sanction Mbappe. They gave him the ultimatum. It was either he renewed or he got sold for whatever amount the club wanted to. There was even a meg bid from Saudi for him that could have seen him rake in as much as $650 million a week. But he said no. PSG froze him out of the first team and forced him to train alone. In the end, he got recalled back to the squad and put in the numbers. 44 goals and 10 assists in 47 games in all competitions. But to PSG fans, his numbers won't really matter anymore, because a few days back, Mbappe dropped the bomb they'd been dying to avoid. It's confirmed now, after 7 years, he's leaving. Looking back at his time with PSG, it's safe to say Mbappe carried more than the team. I mean, he could have left for free in 2021, but I'm guessing he meant what he said when he told him he wanted to stay and help win the Champions League. But ultimately, it never worked out, because if I'm honest, for years, PSG have lacked a proper structure to win the big one. Mbappe probably knows if he wants to take his game to the next level and win the Ballon d'Or, he'd got to play for the best club in the world, and there's no club bigger than Real Madrid. Can't wait to see his unveiling in Madrid, and what the future holds for him. He'd usher in a new Galactico era in Madrid. If you enjoyed this video, you love the stuff that we release every week on the channel, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the comments down below. See ya in the next one.